Well, it sure feels like retail theft is at an all-time high. Target, Walgreens, other retailers have blamed the closure of some stores on that trend. But is that the real reason? And is theft why we're paying so much for some things? Here's Seth Kaplan tonight.
Nearly unheard of a few years ago, it has become so prevalent there's a name for it: organized retail crime. And there are the self-checkout lanes where we have all become our own cashiers and baggers, and some of us have become thieves.
I specifically study why smart people do dumb things.
Marie Hellwig-Larsen, a professor at Dickinson College.
People tend to think of theft in general as a victimless crime that doesn't harm anyone and doesn't make that big of a difference to the store's bottom line, which stores obviously would disagree with.
Hellwig-Larsen does not think society is in a state of moral decay. What she does think?
It does seem like this particular kind of checkout is leading to different behaviors, and as a psychologist, that's easy to understand why.
She says because people rationalize everything they do wrong, and self-checkout theft feels particularly easy to rationalize.
I'm just taking a discount on this item, or I am just taking my own compensation for doing the store's job for them.
Even though anyone being honest with themselves knows this is stealing from the store and from us all, to whatever extent the store is spending money on security and lost inventory instead of on, say, discounts for the rest of us. But what does it all really add up to? $45 billion alone just from organized retail theft groups doing things like this, then selling the loot online, plus plenty more from individuals helping themselves, or at least that was what the National Retail Federation, or NRF, said.
The level of the problem is not nearly what they were saying in terms of dollars lost to retailers.
That's what Daphne Howland of Retail Dive found when she examined the numbers. She said the NRF was taking all of what's called retail shrink, including things that break or spoil, plus theft by stores' own employees, and calling it all organized theft.
So they took an old shrink number and called it theft.
Sure enough, the NRF retracted the number. It told us it doesn't have someone available to speak with us and referred us to current numbers, which now include all shrink, not itemized by how it happened. Howland suspects Target overstated the problem when it blamed the closure of some city stores. If so, why?
People hate it when stores close, so maybe they feel like they need a good excuse.
She believes the stores were underperforming for other reasons. Target didn't respond to our request for comment, and why the seemingly inflated estimates of theft in general? Howland says some of the people making the estimates have what can be an honest bias.
If you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If you're in the loss prevention industry, you're probably ex-law enforcement, and it looks like crime.
Howland says the real numbers probably wouldn't explain most of the price inflation we've seen in recent years. And she found overall shrink as a percentage of all sales, using the NRF's own numbers, hasn't really increased over the years, which means theft probably hasn't increased. Which isn't to say theft isn't a problem. This kind and this kind, all while some honest people find self-checkout frustrating.
If you have frustration and theft, clearly something needs to change. I don't think that means it's going away, though.
The tricky balance stores need to strike
to catch the thieves, but not bother the not thieves, which of course is still most people.
Seth Kaplan, ABC 27 News.
Well, Seth's done it again. Maybe think about things.